Hey Pisces, this is Mary with Sayre Seer. This is your weekly tarot for October 8th through the 15th, 2019. Thanks for stopping by. And let's see here. Okay, I had to adjust the light real quick. Okay, so this is your weekly tarot. This week we're gonna do all tarot. We'll clarify if we need to and just see what happens, okay? Alright, so we have the Hermit reversed. We have Ace of Wands reversed. High Priestess reversed. Seven of Wands. Two of Pentacles reversed. We'll do one more. Nine of Swords. Okay. Okay, my bracelet's banging on the table, so I'm just going to take that off real quick. Okay. Alright, so the Hermit reversed. Well, the Hermit speaks of upright is taking information from your recent, even like in your past. Here's an example, like relationships. And maybe finding a common thread. Is there something that I should be looking at that I can change that would make things easier? You know, kind of reflecting back on experiences. So when it's reversed, this is not being done. And so the problem with that is there may not, the lessons that should be learned are not being learned. So if you find you're having the same cycles come back or the same situations come back, then that could be an indication why that's happening, okay? So second card is Ace of Wands, and that's reversed. So the Ace of Wands, well, when it's upright, we talk about initiation, new life, new beginning. You know, it could be a new enterprise and excitement and passion. And when it's reversed, it's energy that's not, I mean, maybe you're trying to do things, okay, wait. Maybe you're wondering why things aren't getting better, why things aren't changing, okay? Because if it was actually being tried to change it, it would be this way. But it's like, they're not changing because there's no initiation. The passion isn't there. The ideas aren't there. Does that make sense? Okay. Alright, so let me put it back to upside down. Reverse, I mean. Okay, so the High Priestess. So when the High Priestess is upright, we talk about intuition, secrets. I mean, you know, sometimes it's about hidden knowledge when she's upright. Okay, so it's about tapping into that hidden knowledge, the inner knowledge, intuition, for information, right? Insight. You know, when she's reversed, it's not being tapped into. It's not being checked. It's not it. I mean, that whole part of. Let's see. The first three cards talk about no reflection, no initiation, no intuition. Okay, it feels like. It feels like, so Pisces, this could be you, it could be the opposite person that we're speaking of. It could resonate all or in part. So, it's like somebody's blocked, really blocked for change, blocked for introspection, you know? Intuition. It's like, yeah, it's tough. That's tough. Really tough. Okay, so then we have this Seven of Wands. So, upright, the Seven of Wands talks about, well, it talks about conflict. And talks about trying to get through the conflict to get to the other side. So higher ground. I mean, defending yourself. Okay. So the question that always comes to me with this is like, what are you willing to defend? Okay. We're going to just leave that there and keep going. Okay, and then I have 2 of Pentacles reversed. So the 2 of Pentacles reversed. Well, upright, it's juggling jobs, juggling thoughts. Consider tangible things or pentacles. Juggling relationships, bills, you know, and sorry, boy, they keep flying out of my hand here. That's unusual. Okay, so reverse. See, I was just looking at the fact that he's very grounded. He's steady. You see how both feet are on the ground. He's not the typical 2 of Pentacles where he's kind of off balance, right? But reverse, it speaks of like financial. Well, it's a bad decision. So it could have resulted in some kind of loss. So maybe one of the Pentacles was dropped. Whether if there was 2 relationships and that would have, you know, something had to leave, and maybe that you suffered loss due to that. If it was 2 jobs, or you couldn't maintain the bills and maybe something had to go, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. So it's a decision that was made because of the instability. Okay, all right, the original instability. Okay, so Knight of Swords. Then my card is ripped. Wow. Okay, I love these cards. So Knight of Swords is about, well, this is somebody riding in with the truth. With the truth. And you know the truth, wow, the Swords, he's the fastest knight. Because Swords, air. This is about thoughts and information. And, yeah, thoughts, information, and words. Knowledge. So, comes in and just, well, pretty much blurts something out, says something, and then rides off, okay? So, that's where we're at. So now we're just going to pull cards on all of these, okay? It's really funny because it looks real dark to me here, but then the light is like perfect there for you. So that's why sometimes I have to go like that. Anyway, interesting perception, right? The Hermit Reverse. 8 of Wands. We're at 729. Ace of Swords reversed. Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. And now we're looking at the Ace of Wands reversed. The World reversed. 5 of Cups reversed. 4 of Swords reversed. Wow. Okay, now we're looking at the High Priestess. We have Strength. High Priestess reversed, by the way. King of Wands. Nine of Cups reversed. Okay, now we're looking at 7 of Wands. 9 of Pentacles. 5 of Swords. 8 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, and now we're looking at 2 of Pentacles reversed. Hanging Man. There comes the introspection, or the opportunity to introspect. 10 of Pentacles reversed. Magician. Oops, I flipped it when it fell. Okay, and then 9 of Swords. We're looking at 10 of Wands. 3 of Swords. Okay. King of Cups. All right. Wow. Okay, so here's what we got. Here's what we have. So the Hermit, this is like not taking, the opportunity has not been taken to reflect on the past, okay? So we're going to talk about that. Information came in. Information was exchanged. But it appears that the information was not true. It was a lie, okay? And it looks like it may have been offered from a Knight of Cups. So this, well, you actually are Cups, Pisces, so This could be you or another water sign, but it could be also somebody coming in like Prince Charming. Oh, I love you so much, and we can make this work, and here's a ring, or here's my cup of love. And then rides out. You know, doesn't have the staying power, but it's the way they came into you. Even though you know now it was a lie, that information. But somehow not being able to resolve that, you know, it's kind of still, almost feels like it's, well, kind of eating at you. Because if it was resolved, it would look different. You know, the Hermit would be different. But it's not like swords, though. So the swords would be torturous thinking, but it's still there and like sitting there, okay? Maybe you're waiting for the truth, okay? Waiting for that contact of the truth. Okay, we'll get more. Okay, so we're talking about Ace of Wands, and that's not having inspiration. There's no new cycle happening, and that makes sense there based on that last stack after getting all those cards. There's no new start, no ending. This is the World card reversed. No ending, no satisfactory ending, no completion. Maybe there's something left incompleted, not completed for you. Okay. Before I say anything else, let me just keep going, okay? So, Five of Cups reversed, and that was the World reversed, by the way, which is the ending of a cycle. But the cycle ended, but it doesn't. It feels like you may still feel like you're stuck in that cycle, okay? Because you can't start over. That's reversed. There's no new start there, you see. So in that case, it can be repeated. The same thing can repeat, and that makes sense if we haven't integrated the lesson or got through the pain in the past. Keep creating it, bringing it back. By our thoughts, because it's just sitting there. So we're going to bring the same energy back. Does that make sense? Okay. So Five of Cups, like you said, okay, right? So Five of Cups reverse talks about, look, I know. So upright is regrets. Reverse is like I'm getting past the pain and regret. Okay? Which is healing. And then the Four of Swords reverse also now is about a separation that was not, it was forced. Okay? Like illness. It could be death. It could be rehab. It could be an accident, hospitalization. Okay? It could be that somebody broke up with you, or you broke up with somebody and you had to make the move. So there was a forced separation, right? And so it's, and maybe the healing hasn't been completed. Okay? So moving on, but you know, trying to get past the regret, but the healing it doesn't feel like it's completed yet. So we have the High Priestess, not unable to tap into that the hidden knowledge. What do I need? You know, maybe not asking the right questions is what it feels like. Like what do I need to know? Okay, strength. First thing that we need you to do, or we need this person to do, is have the strength enough to deal with whatever it takes. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to make it better? Are you willing to do the work to change your life, to change the cycles? To look at yourself. You know, it sounds really scary, but it's a lot less scary when you get there. I don't know why. It sounds way more scary than it really is. Okay, so we have strength. And so that's kind of a Leo card. See the Leo right there? I mean, there's a lion there. It's kind of a fire card. And then we have the King of Wands. There's another fire, okay? But I want to also come back here to this fire here that's not being able to be initiated, okay? So the King of Wands says, I want to be, okay, let's talk about the energy of King of Wands. It could be a fire sign, Leo, Sag, or Aries, you know, but it also says, I want to get out there and I want to make the change. I want to be the change. I want to do, there's things that I want to do. And I'm tired of being afraid. I'm tired of being held back. I want to move forward. This is having the strength to say, you know, I don't care what's been going on. I can't go through this anymore. I need to change this, right? That's a... There's something here about alcoholism or addiction, okay? Could be drinking because of all the cups, you know. I'm ready to conquer the alcohol abuse, ready to conquer whatever addiction that takes you away from having the strength. Because any addiction that takes you away, then the addiction becomes the focus, right? Nothing else matters but the addiction. It's such a great distractor, you know? But it leaves one empty, without substance at all. Because eventually it eats you from the inside out. Not to mention what it does, I mean, like emotionally, spiritually. Not to mention what it does physically. Whatever addiction this is. But it feels like, well, it feels like the addiction is about avoiding the emotions. Okay? Okay. And somehow cutting off the... I mean, there's something that you don't want to look at. Seven of Wands. This is defending ourselves. Okay. Remember I said, I'm sure you do, but what are you willing to defend? Are you going to defend yourself? Are you going to defend your addiction? Are you going to defend somebody for now? What are you willing to defend? The Knight of Pentacles says, I'm figuring that out. I'm learning. I'm really making it's slow progress, but I want to change this. And it feels like it's taking forever. Because the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. And it's like almost standing still, but it's still moving. But for cups, and with the fire energy, it does feel like it's taking forever because you want to make the changes. But see, here's the thing. Real change. We want a change to take root and be, I'm sorry, I just was looking at a part. If we want change to really take hold, it has to be done methodically, with careful steps. Steps so we won't go back to addiction. Steps so we won't lose ourselves again. Steps so we can incorporate the new lessons. Sometimes it takes slow because it needs to be slow. It's like slow healing, you know? So it's like when you break a limb, it takes like 6 weeks to heal it. But that break is stronger than it was before because it healed so well. But if you don't take that time, it may not set right? And so you would carry that injury into all your next situations. And that is kind of the same thing. Doing a good job, whatever work is, healing, changing, building, sometimes it does take time. Especially with the, I'm supposed to say this, especially with the relationship. Jumping in will just get you a jumping out, you know what I mean? If you want to have somebody that you know has substance, and you have to make sure they have substance, me included. Okay, Five of Swords. Okay, so we had the Seven of Wands. What are you willing to defend? The Knight of Pentacles, making some slow movement, progress. Five of Swords is about the battle. Okay. The battle. Now this guy, so Five of Swords is about, well, I'm hearing picking and choosing your battles. If you can just, because when there's a real battle, and things are, there's no real winners. Yeah, you have somebody that gathers up all the swords, but because they had to be, how do I say, brought to the place where they actually had to battle. There's no winners. Because if we're higher in frequency, higher frequency, we have to bring ourselves down to battle. And so whenever we stay engaged in any kind of battle or defending ourselves, we're actually bringing our vibration lower. And it's not a place we can win. And every time we bring lower, then if we average our vibration and we were in around lower vibratory people, vibrating people, then our vibration would be lower. Does that make sense? So that's why we have to be careful who we're around. You know, this is Eight of Pentacles. These people may not be able to work with. It's unable to master something with where we were at while we were in those battles, because it's a different vibration. They don't have that cooperation factor. It's not as easy to get cooperation. In fact, you get conflict, right? That's why it's called lower vibration. You know, it just is what it is. I'm not judging, you know. So, okay, so Two of Pentacles reversed. 21 minutes, okay. That talks about maybe taking the wrong path, choosing the wrong thing, or dropping something. Something had to be sacrificed, right? We dropped something because we were like this, right? But the Hanging Man says, this is your opportunity while you're hanging upside down and in this uncomfortable place to come from a different perspective. What am I not seeing? That's the question. That is a question that Spirit wants you to ask. What am I not seeing? Not, why does this always happen to me? Because that's a kind of a victim mentality. It just feels different, right? What am I not seeing? Or how can I change this? How can I make it better? Is more of a cooperation. Being part of the solution. Being a co-creator. Not being a victim. See, a victim feels like they have no part in it. A co-creator is part creation. I mean, working with the energy, right? Okay, so the next one is Ten of Pentacles reversed. Ten of Pentacles reversed. Well, while doing all this reflection, Ten of Pentacles reversed talks about, well, upright is about legacy. Reversed is about no legacy. Maybe. So when it's reversed for me, it talks about, well, maybe legacies that aren't so good. Maybe the way we are doing things, where our habits are. You know, whether it's addiction, whether it's how I treat people. But more than that, this talks to me about stuff that's been handed down through our generations. Their parents, their grandparents, whatever. This is unhealthy legacies. That's what this means to me. You can let me know how you feel about that. It could be greed. It could be promiscuity. It could be some kind of abuse. Okay? Okay, next we have the Magician. So, with the change in perspective and the being able to reflect on what is real, what am I really seeing here? The Magician gives us the opportunity to understand that we do have the tools to change things. You see, when we ask the question, how can I change this? Then the Magician says, well, it starts with the way we show up. It starts with the way we feel about it. It starts with saying, I've had enough and I'm going to do whatever it takes. What do I need to do? And being, so it's accountability, it's so many things, but it's not being the victim anymore. And doing things that it's kind of like the good for all. Okay? So the Magician, see, he's got earth, fire, water, and air right here. He's got all of those. He can create anything because he sees that he is a co-creator. Yeah, okay, I know what happened in the past. I can't change that, right? We can't change that. But we sure as heck can change how I show up. Whether I'm gonna keep dwelling on the past, or whether I'm gonna say, look, that happened, but now is now. And I'll be darned if I'm going to let that happen again. Because you know what? I'm going to end that bad cycle. I'm not going to keep repeating this. You see? Okay. So, now we have the Knight of Swords. Now that you know the truth, where our part in it was, we're all players in this game of life, right? Stage of life. Yeah. Again, I like to say this because I don't want people to misinterpret what I'm saying. And I'm not being offensive, okay? What I'm saying here is we don't have responsibility for the way people act to us. You know, whether they cheat or whether they hit us or whether... no, of course not. But the question is, and where the truth comes in, is why did we pick that? There are some things we could have seen if we would have opened ourselves to it. What was blocking that? Was that the legacy? Was that the legacy that we're trying to end in our family, the way our family did it? Was that what we saw when we were children? That's where being a co-creator and seeing the truth is, oh, now I get it. You know, that kind of thing. Well, I'll see those. And it's a place of empowerment, not victimization. I mean, you know what I mean? Okay. So, the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Swords with the truth says, I've been carrying this burden and I'm ready to release it. 10 of Wands, end of the cycle. Woohoo! 3 of Swords. Is it possible that I could have had a big contribution in my heartbreak? It is possible. Of course. Heartbreak is heartbreak, however that is. Doesn't mean it's any less. Because we chose who we chose. Because we were somebody different then too. Right? Okay. And many of us are doing the best we can at the time. And it always looks different when you take on a new perspective, right? So the last card here is King of Cups. So remembering that when we focus on the truth of the matter, okay, is when we focus on the burdens and oh, this is too hard, and the heartbreak and pain, then we are upside down King of Cups. This is emotional imbalance. You see, it's all about what we focus on, but it's about changing things in our life to have peace, making the hard decisions, and having the conversations that are difficult, but being honest, saying, how can I change this? How can I move past this and make better decisions? How can I know that and not let my heart take over, or not let my insecurity take over? It starts with building it in yourself first. So, I'm just going to do a couple of Mente cards. Those didn't want to shuffle, did they, Pisces? 28, ay. All right. Yeah. That Saturn sure is bringing a lot of stuff up, isn't it? I speak positively of others. Okay. That's nice. I give offerings that are genuine. Okay. Well, here you go. We're going to do these two because these are both pretty, they have a lot. Okay. I speak positively of others. Okay. Let's remember to treat others with respect, because if our lack of respect for ourselves will reflect in the way we treat and speak of others, boom, there it is. And so it's walking like you talk, walking the way you want to be treated. And there's so many facets of this, and we just pick up what we can and work on what we can, and then the next one is obvious, the next one is evident. Okay, but for some reason this is big. I don't know how you talk about people, but there's something in there. Okay? Okay, so the second one is I give offerings that are genuine. Do not give an offering that is not genuine. Do not sacrifice yourself and then be resentful. Do not If you do, then own your part of it. Okay? We've all done that. I'm working on that myself. Do not sacrifice yourself and be mad at someone else because you made that decision before you thought about it, okay? That's taking the time, slowing down. No, I'm a Gemini, slowing me down. Are you kidding? Yeah. So, great work. Pisces, you're amazing. Have a great week. Much love.